Hey there, you guys. Yesterday we learned about the 5 groups or classes, if we're going to be scientific, of vertebrates. Remember, vertebrates are animals that have backbones. So we are vertebrates. And the 5 groups that we talked about are mammals, fish, birds, amphibians, and reptiles. We talked about the way that if they feed their young or not. We talked about how they breathe. We talked about what their skin covering is like. And we talked about whether they were warm-blooded or cold-blooded. Those are the things I want you to focus on today. Today is going to be a review day. We're going to do this assignment, and then the other thing is we're going to do, I have some review websites that you can go to and play games. They worked at school. I tried them on a student's computer, and I hope they work for you at home. If not, maybe you need to try some of the other ones. Hopefully, at least one of them will work for you so that you can do a little practicing of sorting animals into different groups. All right. So first of all, let's start with this activity. All right. The first thing you're going to do today, I'm going to go to the next slide, is you are going to just have to tell me which group I'm describing. So in the white letters, I'm telling you things like this vertebrate class has gills, does not feed its young, is cold-blooded, and usually has scales. All right. Well, let me think. Fish have gills. I wonder if that's them. Do they feed their young? Nope. That might work. Let's see, are fish cold-blooded? Yep, they adapt to the temperature that they live in. That makes them cold-blooded. And do fish have scales? Yeah, so fish would be what I would type in this first box. It's your job to do the other 5, or actually the other 4. I just told you the answer to the first one. All right, love that cute panda, by the way. All right, after you do that, the next thing you're going to do is practice writing about these classes and how they are similar. You're going to have to do that on your test, and it's important that you're able to communicate these things. So let me read the directions. We're going to do an example, and then you're going to do a couple on your own. So it says, think about the vertebrates listed below. Choose 2 animals from the same vertebrate group or class. Explain what group or class the 2 animals are in, and give 3 characteristics that the animals have in common. Use complete sentences. If you do not do your best work and use complete sentences, I will return this to you without a grade, and it won't be counted until you go back and do it. But you can do that. You're a 5th grader. All right, so let's do an example. We have penguin, pig, squid, woodpecker, human. All right, I'm going to try to make this a little bigger so that you can see what I'm typing. All right, I would say that we could do 2 different choices, actually. I'm going to choose the woodpecker and the penguin. All right, so what do they have in common? First of all, what class are they in? Well, I believe they're both birds, so let's start with that. Penguins, oops, and woodpeckers are both birds. Okay, got that done, taken care of. First thing, check. All right, the next thing I need you to do is tell me 3 things they have in common. Now, please remember, I want you to use things from the table that I had you make yesterday. Now, something really nice that I provided you with is the table is at the end of this slideshow. So you can just go there if you can't remember, or maybe you could type it first and then go check yourself and see if you're correct. Please don't just make stuff up. It doesn't say anywhere on that table that birds fly, because not all birds do fly. So we can't use that to cover birds all together. All right. So we're going to use the things that are on the table. We have a choice of 4 different things, and I only need you to choose 3. So I think I'm going to say, first of all, both animals feed their young. One that it has on there. They are also warm-blooded. Something else that I might include is that, what do I want to do next? I have a choice. I can either put that they have feathers, or I can put they breathe with lungs. So it's up to you. I'm just going to say last, both. Let's do have lungs. Breathe. Okay, so that's all you got to do. You got to tell me what group are they in together, or what class. So are they birds, reptiles? That's the first sentence. Next, you have to go in and tell me what are 3 things that from the table we've learned about that they have in common. Both animals feed their young. They are also warm-blooded. Last, both have lungs to breathe with. It's as simple as that. Okay. Now, what I will tell you is if you go back up here, there are 2 other things that go together. If you're listening very carefully, I'll tell you what they are right now. Human and pig, which is kind of funny. That's why I chose them. I thought it was funny. Okay, so when you go back into this assignment, I'm going to have deleted this paragraph. And what you need to do is actually go in and tell me about the pig and the human. So there's that. All right. There's actually one more page, and I'm going to minimize back so that we can see things better. There's one more page where you're going to do the same thing, but I give you 5 different animals: a shark, a robin, a bat, a goldfish, and a puppy. Don't let it trick you. There's some things on there that may trick you, so don't be tricked. All right. The last thing I told you about was this resource at the end. Okay, all this is for you to look back at to help you remember the things that we read yesterday, since it's kind of hard to go back into the reading from yesterday because you'd have to unsubmit your assignment. All right, so use it to help you, and remember it's there. Eventually I'll be posting this in your Google Classroom as a resource to study for your test. Okay, the other assignment you have today, because there are 2 posted besides this, again, we're just reviewing, is you are going to go in and you are going to click on some of these websites and play some of these games. So I have tried to check them all and make sure they will work for you at home, and hopefully they will. If not, I apologize. You may have to allow Adobe Flash Player, which is just fine. It'll just say allow Adobe Flash, and you say allow, and then you're good to go. Okay, so you can click on them. Here's one right here that maybe you could play. Hopefully it'll come up for me. All right, and you can go in and try playing the animal characteristics game. Now, some of the characteristics are going to be things that we aren't going to be tested on, but some of the things are going to be just extra things that you may be able to communicate in a different way later. They don't have things exactly how we read them about in the book, but it's good enough. All right, everybody have a good day.